Meet Bob. Bob owns a brick-and-mortar store. Bob also owns an e-commerce store. Bob is deeply proud of his success online, but it definitely didn't come easily. He had to build his store from the ground up, piece by painstaking piece. Despite his success, though, Bob would sometimes get frustrated. He would watch his more successful competitors and see them putting in half the effort but pulling in twice as many sales. Bob realized that the main reason he was falling behind was because his technology, his outdated technology, was stifling growth. Bob considered migrating to an advanced platform quite a few times, but the costs were substantial, and Bob kept postponing it. They all sounded great, but were just too expensive. He just couldn't afford the technology he needed. Sometimes, though, he'd still let himself slip into a dreamland, where orders doubled and profits hit the roof, where he could taste the sweet success he knew he deserved. And one fine day, Bob made up his mind. "We're expanding," he announced to his team. Ideas started flowing, and Bob started planning. "We'll compete with the biggest," he declared. "We'll hit every corner of the internet, multiply sales by 10, and we'll use Magento, enterprise version, of course." A top-notch Magento team was hired to set up Bob's store. The developers went to work, and a 20-member team of e-commerce experts compiled extensive product data for more than 50,000 products from 127 manufacturers. They covered every detail, making things interactive, adding customer support, and tweaking the user interface until Bob's store sparkled. They hosted it, tested it, then told Bob some great news. "Your new store is ready for launch." Bob was excited about his business's future. "Let's go live," he said, "and let's throw a launch party," he declared. His team partied late into the night, had a lot of fun, and finally hit the Go Live button. This was the big moment he had been dreaming about. Bob was ecstatic. After the DNS propagated, Bob and his team found that traffic was flooding to their brand new online store. But after 5 days, something didn't seem right. After 10 days, Bob was sure sales were dropping. Bob's chief technology officer checked Google Analytics and found that traffic was increasing, but pages were taking a lifetime to load, which meant that the bounce rate was rocketing and conversions were plummeting. By day 15, the page load speed had slowed to a snail's pace. Bob could literally see his customers abandon him and go to his competition. In fact, by day 20, pages were struggling to load. It seemed like the more traffic Bob's store got, the less sales it generated. Bob was starting to panic. All of a sudden, the site crashed. A livid Bob called his chief technology officer, who didn't have a clue what to do. He'd done everything perfectly by the book. "Find someone who can fix this!" screamed Bob. Then GentoSonic turned up and provided Bob with a slight hope, a possible solution to his spiraling disaster. Page load time of 2 seconds or less, regardless of Magento version, page size, or traffic volume. Guaranteed. On Bob's approval, the GentoSonic tech geeks got to work immediately. Using their bottomless knowledge to test and analyze every aspect of Bob's online store, they set out to identify the root cause of all his problems. And within 24 hours, they'd figured out exactly what was causing Bob's site to crash. They sent Bob a list of reasons why this was happening. A combination of various factors were triggering the issues. It didn't look good, but that was about to change. The GentoSonic team rapidly solved each issue one by one, testing and tweaking until the problems had simply vanished. This resulted in a twofold advantage for Bob. His conversion spiked and traffic increased. Within a month, he'd overshot his competitors, doubled his traffic, and tripled his sales. Fact: 47% of buyers expect a web page to load in 2 seconds or less. Fact: 40% abandon a website if it takes more than 3 seconds to load. Fact: just a 1-second delay reduces conversion rates by over 7%. And if your pages load faster, your site gets a higher rank on Google. At GentoSonic, we give your site the 2 seconds or less guarantee, even with high traffic and heavy graphics. And you only pay when you see the results. Don't give your customers away to competitors. Give them the 2-second experience they expect. GentoSonic. Isn't it time you got your store up to speed?